Boom.
Bring the energy. Bring the energy. Yes. Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. The clout chaser's back. He's in and on and over here. There's somebody we need to introduce. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. We have a massive, massive, massive day ahead. I will be live for the watch along against Luton tomorrow at 12:30. I'm hoping to be home from work by the time that the kickoff is here. I don't know why I've got this in, just to make me look cool. Got the Costa, got the iced coffee, got the earbud, you know, just down with it, down with kids. I'm conscious of the clock watchers. Quick shit vid. Luton are shit. If we do not beat Luton tomorrow, we will not go up in the top two. I still believe the championship title is ours to take. Unfortunately, now I think we only can afford one more slip, and I don't think it can be within the next 3 games. I think we need 9 points out the next 3 games. We need to get the 2 away games done, dusted, Luton, then straight into Borough. Get Borough done away from home. I actually can't remember who we have in the 3rd game, but I'm not bothered. Preston at home. Got to do them also. And then once we're out of that, you know, we'll go on from there, move on from there. I think we can afford a draw somewhere, but we'll just see where we lie. Meslier, Silent S, dropped. We all obviously know it's been very well documented. I think the news has gone a little bit over the top. I don't know why it's become like countrywide news. You know, it's very rare Leeds get spoke about in BBC News and Sky Sports News as though like Farker drops the god. Like, you know, I don't really know why that's occurred, but I suppose shit is as shit does. It's interesting. I was on Matty's podcast earlier, just put a little video up on Imagine Not Being Leeds. Just got mixed up. Apologies, boys. And we were talking about rotation of players or potentially dropping players, and I don't think it's the case that we're dropping players. However, I do think Solomon will be rotated tomorrow, and I'm hoping it's for Nonto. I don't really want Nonto in the 10, if I'm honest. I think we can get away with Aronson. I think it'll be a tough game away from Luton, but I do emphasise they are absolutely dog shit. So if we cannot beat them, we do not afford to go up, certainly not as champions and not in the top 2. So we are playoff bound if we do not go get 3 points tomorrow. And to be honest, I still feel that even in Middlesbrough, 6 points needed, you know, and then the next 2 games, and then I think we're in with a shout again. I think a lot can happen in a week now at this stage of the season. I think Nonto coming in feels like enough of a change. If we do Meslier, Silent S, obviously he has been dropped for Darlow. We'll see what Darlow brings. Hopefully, you know, we don't go and realise why Mez hasn't been dropped previously for Darlow, because there seems something afoot. I think, to be fair, Farker just backed him all the way to the hill, and I think it's obviously time. We're at the crunch part of the season. We've got a few people saying that Paraag has stepped in, which I find beyond hysterical. It's tickled me for the past 2 days, the thought that Paraag has been like, Daniel, I need to speak to you, mate. I know, I've not said out all season, but you've been fucking around for far too long. It's about time I stepped in. Drop Elan Melier. And I said it properly because Paraag would have been very serious. And I'm sure he's working on his pre-match speech now. He'll be in the dressing room, giving it the big one. Obviously, Bamford's on his way back. He's potentially on the bench at the weekend on Saturday. You know, but the question is, does Paraag rate him? Because if Paraag don't rate him, he don't get inside, does he? So it's interesting, really, because Farker's obviously come into a lot of flack over the season. And it's just interesting that Paraag sort of left it this long before stepping in, which just proves sort of like how much of a nice guy he is. And he's nearly let Farker completely fuck it up and then thought, oh, I'll step in now and I'll take over. You know, you'd have thought he'd have done that, I don't know, from the start of the season, really, wouldn't you? Been picking sides. But the idea that he's picking the side is absolutely sensational. But yeah, just to get back to it, Nonto being wide left, I don't think changes us structurally at all. I think he'll get at the right back significantly more than Solomon. I worry sometimes with Solomon that when we are up against it a little bit, he don't break. Like Dan James just wants to go. I want that Somerville hype where it's just like Nonto will just go. He'll just try and beat his man. I don't think anybody gets Radji if you try and push it past the wing back and you don't quite make it happen. I don't think it frustrates the fan base, really. So I think that's good. I think he'll go Tanaka and Ampadu. I'm hoping Ampadu's got enough in legs. I do believe he will have. I think it's good. I was speaking to Lockie yesterday and he was basically saying, and we both agreed that, you know, the more minutes he can get in his legs, you know, before the end of the season, like in the lead up to the end of the season. Basically, if he hadn't played on Saturday, we'd be pushing that further down the line, wouldn't we? We'd be pushing it to this Saturday, and then suddenly it's like, well, he's not played a minute. How do you get that match sharpness? Do you know what I mean? It only comes from games of football. He probably thought he could get away with one, really, with Swansea, and then how the game went, he probably thought, shit, Ampadu's sort of up against it. Farke did mention, though, in fairness, that, we didn't concede a goal while Ampadu were on there, and there is something to be said for that. I mean, I don't think that's why we conceded goals. We all saw the goals, why we conceded them. But I don't want it to get to that. I don't even care what Darlow's up to. It should not matter. All we have to do is match these players. Our mentality should be go out, kill or be killed. Each individual battle, just win your individual battles. No messing about. Be super positive. Be super selfish. This is not just for the Leeds fan base. It's not just for Farke. It's not just for Paraag, the new manager. It's for yourself, isn't it? These players are going to go out. That's why, I know everybody's clambering around to try and get Ramazani in, but I'm not sure you can hang your hat on him now. I'm not sure if he wants the heat. There's a lot of pressure on now. To be honest, as I've said in the past few weeks, anything my man Fucker does now, or Paraag, the new manager, anything that Paraag steps in and does, or Farke sort of asks Paraag if he's allowed to make a change, whatever he does, I'm going to go with. If he goes Gnonto into 10 and Solomon out wide, James out wide, Parupara up top, that's wild. That's an insane front four, regardless. And then really, you've got Tanaka and Ampadu. I still want that. I won't want Drew Evan Ampadu in there. I don't think it's necessary on the basis that I really do think Luton are shit. And they'll arrive, they'll try to upset the Leeds train, and we just have to be honest, it works both ways. That we have to, if we go 1-0 up, we have to show them for the next 30 minutes, even if we're not dominant. We know we need to be dominant, but I mean, in the sense that if we don't get another couple of goals or put them to bed, we just need to take all. They're used to losing games. It's all right saying like where we're at and that Luton have got loads to play for. We've got more to play for, surely, and they're used to losing games, so they will revert back into we are actually shit. We've lost loads of games all season. We just have to beat them bad, and even if it's 1-2-0, you can still beat a team comfortably. We've been doing that all season up until about 5 games ago. We did it to Millwall. We just beat them. And then we got a late goal. I think it was a late goal. Millwall with 2-0. And, you'd have taken the one. I'll take anything, but I just want a dominant, boring game. I'll take it. I'll sit there and be half asleep, just Farke, just controlling shit. But we can't leave this segment without. Oh, I also want to just say, every team last year, I was speaking to Lockie about it, and he said every team last year wobbled. Leicester wobbled, Ipswich wobbled, we wobbled, Southampton were nowhere near at one point. So we've had us wobble. Get over it. Stop the rot. And it's up to you boys to stop the rot. But we cannot leave this segment without letting everybody know De Bruyne is leaving Manchester City. And on that basis, get my man Paraag on the motherfucking phone. Go, Paraag, step in there and make it happen. Bring Kevin De Bruyne to this club, my man.
Boom.